So I need to know, how far is it from here to there? Well, there's a couple different ways I can do it. One is the old tape measure. So using my tape measure, I measured it. It turns out it's 25 feet. And using a tape measure is certainly going to be accurate. However, that might cause some slow play and you might get a few looks from your playing partners. One way I measure things on a green is I pace it off. My stride happens to be 5 feet, so let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So that's about a 25 footer. Same length as my tape measure. Now, I don't see it used a lot, but that doesn't mean that I can't. Let me use my my laser ranger. Let me see what that does. What kind of a measurement do I get with that? Well, while we weren't looking, I did use my laser rangefinder, and it measured to be 9.2 yards. 9 times 3, that's about 27 feet. So I had a little error there, 2 feet. And that's probably due to the fact that I'm taking that measurement from 5 feet above the ground. But if I could get the worm's eye view of the thing, I'm sure that laser rangefinder would say 25 feet also. Okay, so I've taken a piece of yellow cloth and I've taped it to my trellis out here in the driveway, and I put it at the height it would be for your typical flagstick. According to the USGA, that flagstick is sticking 6.8 feet above the surface of a green. It's actually 7 feet long, but some of that is down in the ground. Over time I developed this chart, and I put it on a few of my clubs, usually the shorter ones, and it has marks on it. This one, the marks go from 50 yards down to 20 yards, and then the other indicators are here. The last one is kind of rubbed off, but that would be 15 feet, 20 feet, 25 feet, 30 feet, 10 yards, 40, 45 feet, 15 yards, 50 feet. 50 feet is about as far as I want to measure with this system. So what I do when I'm doing this is I hold my putter up and I take the 0 mark on the chart and I put it at the top of the flag, and I look what number on that chart crosses where the bottom of the flag stick is. This one, as I measure it with my system, I'm standing about 20 feet away. Now you can calibrate your putter yourself. It's pretty easy to do. What you do is go to the flag stick, then move yourself a certain distance away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 25 feet. Hold your putter up to the height of the top of the flagstick, and then using a Sharpie pen, make a mark on your putter that equals where the bottom of the hole happens to be. If you do that from several different distances, for example 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, you'll have a pretty good collection of indicators right there on your... So why the need for precision when we're putting as far as distance goes? When we have a putt, we take a look and we say, well, how far is that? Or maybe we've measured it and we think it's 20 feet. All right, we do a good job and we hit the ball 18 feet, but it was actually 23 feet. So instead of an easy 100% make 2-footer, I've got a 5-footer with a 50% chance of missing. So of the ways I discussed of measuring the distance from the golfer to the hole, there's the tape measure method. The pros of that are it's accurate. But the cons are it's kind of slow, and I can't say that I've ever in my whole life seen anybody measuring it with a tape measure. The second method is pacing it off. The pros on this one is it's quick, it's somewhat accurate, but the cons are, well, there are no cons. Then I talked about using your laser. The pros of the laser are it's very accurate, but the cons are there's an angle error. If I'm standing here and I'm using my laser and I measure down to the hole, because I'm standing about 6 feet above the hole, the length here is, according to my laser, 27.2 feet. Whereas if I shoot the flagstick, it says 25 feet. So you got to take that angle error into consideration. Practice with it. I think it could be a good way. All right, lastly is the surveying method. The pros of the surveying method is it's fast, it's accurate. Well, you've got your putter with you on the green, so the tool's with you the whole time, not like the laser where you might leave it in the cart. However, the cons are some practice is required with this method. Here's the distance to the flag. We look at it with our eye to the bottom of the grip. A line passes through a point on the club where the bottom of the hole is. This is what I see when I'm doing the surveying method. Here's the grip of the club. I've set it equal to the top of the flagstick, and it's somewhere along the shaft of the club. It's going to, the bottom or the hole is going to be equal with one of my tick marks on the club. Here I'm showing it being a 20-foot putt. Okay, so today I talked about 4 ways of making a measurement of how far your putts are. 3 of them practical, 1 the tape measure, not too practical. But fall in love with one of those 3 and get accurate distances when you're making your putt. Couple that up with the lesson I gave earlier on how to control the distance of your putt, and I think you're going to get a lot of those putts a lot closer to the hole.